In August 1977, in the quiet, unassuming suburb of Enfield, North London, an ordinary council house at 284 Green Street became the stage for one of the most infamous and hotly debated paranormal cases in history, the Enfield Poltergeist. Over the course of nearly 2 years, the Hodgson family, particularly the two young sisters Janet and Margaret, experienced a terrifying series of events that would attract police officers, journalists, paranormal investigators, and skeptics from across the country. But what truly happened behind those walls? What was the source of the strange noises, moving furniture, and eerie voices? And why has this haunting continued to captivate and divide opinion decades later? The story began on the evening of August 30, 1977, when Janet Hodgson, then 11 years old, complained to her mother Peggy that her bed was shaking violently on its own. Peggy, a hard-working single mother raising 4 children, initially thought Janet was imagining things or playing a prank. However, the next day, Peggy herself began to notice strange occurrences. She heard loud knocking sounds emanating from Janet and Margaret's bedroom. When she entered the room, she was startled to see a heavy chest of drawers sliding slowly across the floor as if pushed by an invisible hand. Despite her efforts to stop it, the furniture continued to move, inching closer to the door. This unnerving event marked the beginning of a series of escalating paranormal phenomena that would soon engulf the entire household. In the weeks that followed, the Hodgson family endured a relentless barrage of strange and frightening events. Loud bangs and thuds echoed through the house at all hours, sometimes shaking the walls and ceiling. Objects, including chairs, toys, and books, were reportedly thrown across rooms without any visible cause. Neighbors reported hearing unexplained noises and witnessing furniture moving on its own through the windows. The two sisters, Janet and Margaret, became the epicenter of the activity. Witnesses claimed to have seen Janet levitating several feet above her bed, her body rigid and eyes wide open in apparent terror. On other occasions, Janet was said to have been thrown across the room by an unseen force. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of the haunting were the disembodied voices that seemed to speak through Janet. Audio recordings captured a deep, gravelly voice that identified itself as Bill Wilkins, a man who claimed to have lived in the house decades earlier and died there. The voice spoke with a distinct Cockney accent and often engaged in conversations with the investigators. At times, the voice was playful and mischievous, at others, it was angry and threatening. These recordings remain some of the most compelling and eerie evidence associated with the case. As the disturbances escalated, Peggy Hodgson called the police. Officers arrived and witnessed some of the phenomena firsthand. One constable reported seeing a chair move across the room without any physical cause. The police were initially skeptical but could not easily explain what they saw. The case quickly attracted media attention, with journalists and television crews descending on the modest council house to document the strange happenings. The story captured the public imagination, becoming a sensation across Britain. The media spotlight brought the attention of the Society for Psychical Research, SPR, a respected organization dedicated to investigating paranormal phenomena. 2 of their members, Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair, took a particular interest and spent months living in the house, meticulously recording and documenting the events. They witnessed objects moving inexplicably, loud bangs, and episodes where Janet appeared to be possessed by the spirit of Bill Wilkins. Their detailed notes, audio tapes, and video footage formed the backbone of the evidence supporting the haunting. Maurice Grosse, who lived in the house for extended periods, described the experience as both fascinating and terrifying. He reported hearing knocking sounds on walls and ceilings, seeing furniture move, and feeling an oppressive atmosphere. Guy Lyon Playfair, meanwhile, was struck by Janet's apparent possession episodes, during which her voice changed, and she exhibited knowledge she could not have known. They believed the phenomena were genuine and beyond simple trickery or coincidence. Despite the extensive documentation, the Enfield Poltergeist case remains one of the most controversial hauntings ever recorded. Skeptics argue that the children, especially Janet, may have fabricated or exaggerated many of the events for attention. Some inconsistencies in testimonies and recordings have been highlighted, and critics note that some phenomena occurred only when investigators or journalists were present. Anita Gregory, a psychologist and SPR member, expressed doubts about the authenticity of some events, suggesting that the children's behavior might have been influenced by the excitement and pressure surrounding the case. Magicians and illusionists demonstrated how some of the physical effects could be mimicked through trickery. Janet Hodgson herself later admitted to faking some of the phenomena, such as knocking sounds and moving objects, but insisted that many events were real and beyond her control. She described feeling terrified and overwhelmed by the experiences, which had a profound impact on her family's life. The Enfield Poltergeist story has left a lasting cultural legacy. It inspired numerous books, documentaries, and films, most notably the 2016 horror movie The Conjuring 2, which dramatized the events with a focus on the famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The house at 284 Green Street still stands, now privately owned, and the haunting remains a subject of fascination and debate. Whether one believes in ghosts or dismisses the events as elaborate hoaxes, the Enfield Poltergeist case challenges our understanding of reality. It forces us to consider the boundaries between the natural and supernatural, the power of human psychology, and the enduring allure of mystery. What would you do if you experienced such terrifying events in your own home? Would you be frightened, curious, or skeptical? The story of the Enfield Poltergeist invites us all to ponder the unknown.